What's up, everybody? I'm Big John G, the best super heavyweight in the world today. And you know what I'm doing tonight? I'm drinking with Mo.
All right, everybody, taking time out before we get this show started. I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin Mo's be a brand ambassador for their clothing line. They got good stuff. They got t-shirts, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got lots of great stuff, encouraging everybody to break out of their comfort zone, live their best self, and hey, it's something I try to live every day. Now, be sure when you go and you're filling out your order, use the code Drinkin at Mo's, get 10% off, and the link and the code will both be in the description. Let's fucking go. All right, everybody, welcome to Drinkin at Mo's. Big Mo here. You know the drill by now. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit. Because YouTube's algorithm is still a pain in the ass, even after how many episodes I got unloaded and ready to go on. Like 224 episodes loaded and ready to go. Like,
oh man,
yeah. But you know what? Leave a review on the audio platforms. And I'm excited to have with me, back for another round, Big John G. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you doing?
Oh, I can't complain. Like I mentioned before we started recording, gonna be going to another Revolver show. Always a good time there. I don't think a couple of our mutual friends are going to be there this time. A bit of a bummer, but, I think I've seen them pretty much every other time, so I'm sure they'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
And for those that might not know, I'm talking about Jake Christ and Bobby Olson, both also past guests of the show. So I'm trying to get them back on, getting them on the same episode, so that would be fun. I'm aiming to get all four.
You should get me, Jake, Bobby, and Corey Storm. Now Corey Calhoun, all on one time. Old Born to Die.
Ooh, you're giving me ideas.
Yeah,
but yeah, this one's gonna be big. It's always a good time there, but I'm getting to see Masha Slamovich for the first time live. So that's going to be fun. She's teaming up with the Second Gear crew to go up against Macklin, Alex Colon, Ricky Shane Page, and coincidentally, her TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship partner, Killer Kelly. Yeah, that's going to be nuts. Like, I've already seen the trios of the two teams minus the women they'll have with them this time facing off each other, and yeah, that was nuts. Absolutely. Matthew Justice jumping off of a scaffold, Macklin swinging half a section of a door and whacking people in the head with it. Yep, it was nuts.
Oh man.
But man, what have you been up to since we last chatted? I mean, it's been little over a year now, I think.
Yeah, right about a year. Yeah, man, I've just been living the dream, working out, wrestling.
I was gonna say, it looks like from what I've noticed, you've been, definitely getting in shape there, and hey. I know me and my big old tummy, I could probably use a little bit of that myself. Even though by the time I get home and especially if I'm recording, I'm like, by the time I'm done, I'm like, Okay, feed me and let me go to bed. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah,
But it looks like, yeah, you've been doing great. And, I can't remember if y'all were together the last time we talked, but man, you sure looking happy there with that lady of yours.
yeah, yeah. She's actually the best, man. She used to be a personal trainer and a nutritionist.
Well,
So
hey, helps with
I
that last thing.
yeah, it ties in together. She uh we just recently did a 10K together.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw the post about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
placed 2,259th out of 2,580. So technically, I won the whole thing.
Hey, all right.
So my first 10K, I won it.
Hey,
It wasn't last, technically a
well,
winner.
yeah. What wasn't last? Yeah, that's what counts. I mean, good lord,
Yep.
that reminds me. I don't think I've ever done one of those, but reminds me of this joke I heard one time. You know, I'm not racist. I love all races except for marathons. Fuck those.
Hey, I think she's signing us up for a half marathon next year.
Oh
So
boy. Well, hey, more power to you both. I know. God dang, it would be a while before I'd be able to make it through one of those myself. Holy shit.
yeah, it's definitely not bad if you have somebody with you. Like we didn't run the whole thing, but like what we'd do is we started off with a little jog,
Yeah.
but it was uphill, so it killed me. And so we jogged that, and then like anytime we'd see the mile marker, we'd run to that, and then we
Ah,
ran to the finish line because they gave us 2 free beers afterwards. So
that makes everything better right there. But yeah, no,
I wasn't drinking at Moe's, when I was drinking
hey,
downtown. You know what I mean?
hey,
Yeah.
it's all good. Drinking at Moe's can be anywhere. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
that you do bring up a good point that I imagine it would probably, make it a little bit better having somebody there kind of motivating you when you're feeling like, oh God, I need to stop.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that would be happening for me a lot. But the one thing before we get into some wrestling stuff that I was wanting to ask you about is I saw a video of you doing a little car karaoke for one of my personal favorites, Dirks Bentley,
Oh yeah.
and a song that I could probably go along with myself, but people would probably pay me to stop. But yeah, no, you did good. But I think I made a comment on that post. I don't know if you saw yet, but I have a little story involving him actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
I went to a show of his right across the river from me, and he happened at one point to be like, "Where is beer drinkers at?" And I was just screaming, and then he starts pointing right around my direction. I'm like looking around, thinking he ain't pointing at me. No way. Well, before I know it, he's helping the security guys get me over the barricade, and I end up shotgunning a beer on stage with him.
Uh-oh.
And I kid you not, you might be able to see it back up here somewhere.
That beer can?
I still got the can.
Oh man.
Hole in there for shotgunning and everything.
Uh-oh.
I was like, I was hanging on to that.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah, you can't get rid of it.
oh God, no. That thing's with me till I'm dead. The other thing though, towards the end of the show, he was pointing at me like, I remember you, man. And he took a guitar that one of his band member was playing. And well, I'll show you the guitar when we get done recording, but
Okay.
Signed guitar hanging on my wall right back over that way.
Uh-oh. That's not bad.
Oh yeah. Like I didn't even get to tell my family about it because one of my sister-in-law's friends, or a group of them, were actually at that show
Oh no.
and ended up
So they told everybody before you did.
basically. Long story short, yeah, because my brother and her were both at my parents' house that next day, and I was like, once I woke up and I'm like, holy crap, that guitar's actually here. I call my parents to tell them because I'm like, dude, I have to start telling people about this. And they're like, they told me that she had just gotten off the phone with the friend and they sent her a picture. He was like, oh man, he pulled some guy up on stage and they shotgunned a beer. And they had a picture of it. And she's sitting there with my brother and look, is that your brother? Like
Oh
literally
no.
like maybe 5 minutes before I called. I was like, well, damn it. All right, cool. Hey, I'm famous.
Yeah.
Although anytime he comes anywhere near, I'm like commenting on social media and tagging him like, hey, I'm looking for my rematch. Because he kicked my ass. I'll go ahead and say it. He kicked my ass and shotgunning that beer. Man,
Uh-oh.
he was done before I was probably halfway done. Like he can shoot those quick. But yeah, when I saw that video, that reminded me of, oh, I don't know if I told him about that one.
Yeah, no, you didn't. That's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah. And me being a big, country music guy, you know, getting like I was hoping to just get a CD signed. Little did I know I was going to
Yeah,
walk
but you
away
got a
with a
guitar.
guitar. Like the
Hey, I'm going
security
to a
guys.
Lainey Wilson concert next week in
Oh,
Oklahoma, and I'm gonna try a shotgun a beer with her now. Get a guitar.
ah,
Yeah, you'll have to bring me back on. We'll talk about it.
oh yes, yes. Oh, you know what? Funny about that. Funny about that. She is coming. I forget when this year, but she's coming up to Omaha too.
Uh-oh.
And my wife was having to have like her gallbladder removed or something, and we were literally in the parking garage of the hospital getting ready to take her in when the radio station did one of these like country quickie things where like they play like a quick little clip of a song and you have
Yeah.
to guess the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was like, what is it? And I was like, hummed it for a second. I'm like, boom. And she got it. And I'm like, after she hung up, I was like, you're welcome. So we're going to that. So that'll be
Oh
fun.
yeah.
We've actually seen her open for, I want to say it was Luke Combs down at Arrowhead in Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
And we actually got to meet Luke Combs at that one.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she applied for the VIP meet and greet thing before the concert and found out like the day before she had to confirm that she was going to be able to take it. So we got in. Although that was okay. It was a great concert, but trying to get out of there with hell. I don't know what
Oh,
it
I'm
is.
at.
I don't know what the hell it is, but you know, I don't remember it being that much hell trying to get out of there after a Chiefs game, but for some reason, them damn concerts are just murder getting out of there.
Well, people like Luke Combs more than they do the Kansas City Chiefs.
Although, I mean, They probably used to anymore. I'm not so certain. There's some that it might be borderline. So who the hell knows? But you've still been up to wrestling. What have you been up to wrestling wise since we last talked? It's been a little over a year since we've chatted about that.
Yeah, man, I'm just wrestling out. So I moved to Texas.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw something about you moving down there.
Yeah, so I'm officially a cowboy now. Yeehaw!
Ah, well,
Yeah.
I won't rub this in too much after the last playoffs. Then,
Hey, all I'm saying was Des caught it. That's all I'm saying. Des caught it.
I mean,
Des caught it.
I'm a cheesehead, lifelong. I was actually at the. Well, we're going back into some non-wrestling stuff, but I was actually at the Packers Vikings game on New Year's Eve.
How was that?
You know what? I was a little worried, because my brother's been there for a game, did not have the most pleasant experience. Everybody treated me great. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they were just stuck on the point where they weren't going to be making the playoffs. They're like, oh, hell, we won't give them too much shit.
Yeah.
Hey, who the hell knows? But Texas has, as far as, wrestling goes, man, they've been booming. We talk about Revolver. They've been heading down there. They kind of, for the longest time, kind of flip-flop between Ohio and Des Moines. And now they're getting out slowly. Yep. They've done a handful down in Texas. They've been out to LA. They tend to do something around WrestleMania. So they've been traveling a little more.
Oh, yeah.
How's the Texas independent scene been treating you since moving down there?
It ain't bad, man. There's a lot going on down here. A lot of great companies, a lot of great athletes. I saw you interviewed Brick Savage.
I was gonna bring that one up, but I had him on a little bit ago.
Brick's a monster. Have you seen any of his matches?
I have.
Yeah.
And I actually talked with him about that viral clip that I joked with him that it looked like he was Hulk in the Avengers whipping around Loki by his leg with that one guy that he literally looks like he's picking him up by his leg and then wham.
Yeah, Brick's a monster.
Yeah, he's a monster to say the least. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, after I saw that clip, I'm like, holy shit, I have to have him on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some big man competition right there.
Yeah, Texas has that's one thing I love about Texas. I'm not gonna say that's why I moved down here, but that's one of the reasons they got some of the best big men down here. So
they do. And me being the fan of the death match style of it, I don't know why, but before I started talking to some of them, I guess I was a little surprised how big of a deathmatch scene they have down in Texas. Like the Dmitry Alexandrov, I had him on a while back, and then I am trying to remember who all else, but yeah, I mean, Brick Savage is not like a deathmatch guy, but he's done some stuff. So yeah, I know you and we have our mutual friend in Jake Chris there. He's definitely dabbed into that world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually my first ever death match that I actually got to witness in person was actually him versus Joel Bateman at Revolver.
Yeah.
The one where what, I don't know if we talked about that one, but the ending was something else. It
Really?
was, oh God, yeah. They, 4 folding chairs. They put 2 panes of glass, and then Bobby rolls in and pulls out lighter fluid from his pocket.
Oh no, not Bob.
He pulled out lighter fluid from his pocket, and then Jake and Joel Bateman end up going through the flaming glass chairs.
Huh.
Yeah, I actually got to talk with them both after the match. I actually got a picture of me with Joel Bateman and his face all still bloodied up and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was nuts. But things down there have been treating you pretty well with independent scene, getting out there quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, there's a show every weekend down here.
I was gonna say, Texas. I mean, good lord, there's those memes out there of you know one city, like those road signs, one city like 20 miles away, and then the one that would be further away and be like tomorrow. There's a lot of space to cover down there in Texas, but yeah, a lot of shows that I can imagine, doing some road trips. You can find a show just about every damn week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Good lord, I don't even think here in the Omaha area. I mean, there's a few weeks here and there where things kind of match up to where one show happens and then another the next week, but I don't think really for an entire month there being one every single weekend.
Yeah.
That would be fun for me because me being the fan that I can literally just watch it. You put wrestling on in front of me and I'll sit there and I'll be like, ooh, ooh, one of those oohs and oh damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Into every little bit. Yeah. Then the thing coming up that's not just about the big show itself, but WrestleMania coming up. Texas has held a few, and the thing that is always great about these WrestleMania events is it's also like it's turned into a whole week where there's like independent shows from all over the country coming and showing their best stuff. And like my friends over at H2O Wrestling out of New Jersey, they have an anthology deal where it's like them and I think some promotions they're partnering with that like at least one show every day that week, sometimes
Yeah.
two.
Oh yeah.
So that it's going to be nice. What are with this year's WrestleMania? What are you looking forward to yourself? Like, are you going to be able to sit back, relax, and watch, or you traveling to the show can sometimes be once in a lifetime thing for a lot of people. I've yet to actually do it.
Yeah, I think this year, man, I think I'm just gonna sit back and hang out with my best friend Ribeye up here and just watch the show.
Hey,
This
nothing
year,
wrong
just
with
sit back
that.
and watch as a fan.
Hey, that is sometimes the good part. It's always. I bet it's always nice to be able to be there. Especially being in the business and maybe join in a show here or there, or hell, get to go to the big show itself, which I am still jealous of anybody that's actually done it because that's
Man,
still
those
on my.
are outrageous though.
Oh God, yeah. Like I've seen, like especially like the closer you get, it's like, Jesus, are you wanting me to pay for a seat or a car?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I saw on Ticketmaster somebody was reselling their floor seats. I think it was the front row for $30,000.
Good grief. As much as I would love that, no, if I even brought that up, about debating it, my wife would probably kill me.
Yeah, you'd be getting a divorce.
Oh, yep, I wouldn't be married for much longer after that. That's for sure. But is there anything with this year's event that you're looking forward to? You know, being able to sit back and just enjoy the show.
Man, I'm a big fan of LA Knight. I love LA Knight.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to what he's going to do this year.
Though he's going to, I imagine, be doing something special. I haven't heard what match he's going to be in. I mean, they got a little time, but it's looking like they've got him going for something.
Yeah, for sure. No, knowing our luck, they'll probably put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah. God, like that. I'm a fan of battle royals, but when you got somebody of that caliber that could be contending for one title or another, and you're just gonna throw them in there like that, that's kind of like, oh, really?
Now, I'm not saying he deserves like the main event, because I feel like there's other matches with main event caliber, but at least give him like a mid card match or an opener.
Oh yeah,
I feel like he could have a really good opener.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot of shows that it's like the opener and the main event, they almost have somewhat of the same excitement, really, especially after the match gets going. Because, good Lord, I know not WWE, but, well, I mean, sometimes them, but I know AEW has definitely had a lot of shows where it's like that first kickoff show, that first kickoff match, it just like, holy shit, starting off with a damn bang.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look forward to that. See who they got going for that. And hell, I'm trying to think, because the I was forgetting whether the United States or Intercontinental, which show those were on, but I'm like, oh wait, LA Knight on SmackDown. I believe the US is over there now, so I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight kick Logan Paul's ass.
Yeah.
I don't like. Okay, Logan Paul has taken to wrestling seriously. It's not like he's treating it like a joke, but I don't like him. I don't. I can't. I've tried. He's had some impressive moments, but I can't. Nope.
And who knows? Maybe MJF might show up this year at WrestleMania. Yeah. I mean, they talked all that about that bidding war of 2024, so who knows? Maybe that's already over. Yeah.
I mean, he did probably need to take a little bit of time off after how banged up he was there towards the end of his title reign. Yeah,
he had a couple of injuries he had to take care of, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he is buddies with Cody Rhodes there, so
yeah.
Who knows? Hell, Cody getting in some excitement there himself. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. I mean, I don't want to be kind of cliche and use that whole finish the story, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm with a lot of people that think, that probably should have been done last year.
Well, see, I think that if they want to do that, if they want him to finish the story, Dusty never did it at WrestleMania. He did it at Madison Square Garden.
I've been hearing a lot of people talking about that. So it's like, do they want him to do it there, or do they want him to just get it?
Yeah.
Like the fact that his dad, I guess, got it technically, but then got it taken away. So is it more the venue or just the fact of getting it and being able to keep it?
Yeah.
So who knows? A lot to look forward to. I know I will definitely be keeping an eye on everything. And hell, being in Philadelphia, there's a lot of talk about the the Hall of Fame. They haven't really announced too much there, but there's definitely people still eligible for the Hall of Fame that definitely made some memories there in good old Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
I know Mr. Heyman hasn't been inducted yet, and I mean it would be fitting. And hell, there's a whole bunch of ECW originals that haven't been inducted yet. That, I mean, the one of the only ones that I don't see happening this year, and that's only because of the rocky relationship between WWE and AEW, would be Taz. Even though deserving,
Yeah.
Taz deserves it. I just, with that, WWE AEW rockiness, I don't know if that'll end up happening this time.
Yep.
Although, I mean, Tommy Dreamer, though, the relationship with TNA, I mean, they did have Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble. I mean, there's.
Oh yeah.
And then, Bray Wyatt, I mean, not necessarily ECW, but there is a lot of talk about him getting inducted this year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, lots of people think, Hall of Fame and like lots of titles. Bray Wyatt might not have had like an extreme number of titles, but the way his characters put an impression on people,
Yeah.
it was like people are still talking about everything from Husky Harris to the Wyatt family with Luke Harper and that kind of swamp cult vibe, to the Fiend, to his last iteration. It was like they say being able to reinvent yourself helps with that longevity. He definitely knew how to reinvent himself.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And kind of indirectly ended up having my show, the podcast, we ended up having a little interaction, kind of indirectly with Mr. Wyatt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, after I didn't realize it at the time, but I ended up having his friend, former Ring of Honor 6-man tag champ Dutch, on. I didn't realize they were friends at the time until I posted on Twitter about having recorded with them. And then Bray Wyatt ends up liking the tweet.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, wait, I had to like double take because I'm like, wait a damn minute. So like I literally messaged Dutch back and I'm like, you're friends with Bray Wyatt, aren't you? He was like, oh yeah. I was like, that explains it. But it was like, holy fuck. Somebody of that caliber liking liking something about I still may be my own worst critic, but my little show.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit.
Seems unreal.
I know, right? it's something he didn't have to do, but he went ahead and did it. So it was like, oh, sweet, cool little moment for me.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are deserving. So hopefully they get a good group together this year. I mean, they tend to. Some years are better than others, but who knows? Maybe they still got time. But all right.
Have they even announced anybody for it yet?
You know what? I don't think they have actually, which
Yeah,
to me seems weird.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing anything about it.
Yeah, like there's a lot. Like people have been talking about, who could go in. Who do they want to see go in? But yeah, I don't think there's been an announcement yet, which seems pretty damn odd because we're a little over a month away now.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd think eventually they're going to start announcing some people.
Yeah, because like we're coming up on it. So
yeah. So who knows? Yeah, here comes my dog again. All right. So my categories, my two categories I have to kind of round stuff off with, having people back for another round, sometimes it's a little tricky, me trying to figure out, okay, did I mention this person the last time? Which, I'm not sure, but you know what? I think I put together a list that I'm pretty confident we didn't go over the last time. So, oh crap, here we go.
Uh-oh.
See, I like having them down because I don't like feeling like I left him upstairs by himself.
Yeah.
But, he's good. Anyways, so first...
I was petting my dog half this episode, not going to lie.
Yeah,
right down by my leg.
I love him to death. But first category is going to be the name game where, I'm naming off some people. You give me quick thoughts on them. So, like last time, I try to theme it towards the guests as much as possible. And, right. You having moved down to the Lone Star State, each of these people have, been big names that have come through the Lone Star State.
All right.
So first one, kind of a multifaceted one because, it's a family. And I actually just recently got to watch the movie based on their life.
Overrated.
I will admit, with all the hype that I had heard.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the family, not the movie.
Oh, the Von Erichs?
Overrated.
Interesting.
I just had to say that. I feel like they were trailblazers, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, because not really before them had anybody had like international distribution on their wrestling shows. Good Lord, they were being seen over in places like Israel that I never would have thought about.
Yeah.
And hell, they were putting in shows in like Texas Stadium, big football stadiums before WWE ever was.
Yeah. So I got a couple quick comments about that too. So actually where I moved, I'm an hour away from where they grew up.
No kidding. Yeah.
And then the company that I primarily work for down here in Texas actually had I can't remember which Von Erich is her dad, but Lacey Von Erich.
Okay.
She has a sister named Holly. Holly has nothing to do with wrestling. But we were running a show, I think they said like 20 minutes from where she lived. And her little boy wanted to come watch wrestling. And she said, she like came in the locker room after the show and was talking to all the guys and was like, if my dad was still around, he'd be very proud of the way wrestling's going in Texas right now. So I felt like that was a big compliment. I'm sure she liked the match more than anybody else's, but
that would be a pretty big compliment from somebody of that family saying that about the show. I know. Oh boy, I've talked with a couple of. I'm trying to remember whose sons it was about coming on, because hell, he's the Von Erich legacy is still going on in wrestling. They got people out there now that are doing big things, and
the two grandsons.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, the even the movie has done amazing.
Yep.
Sold crazy all over the place. I finally got to watch it, and I'm like, I have seen documentaries and stuff about the family, so like I knew bits and pieces. So, but it was still an emotional ride, that whole movie, and I kind of dug. By now, I don't, and by the time this gets released, I don't think I'll have to worry about spoilers. But words are hard. Spoiler alert: the ending. I dug that ending with
what was
Terry going in the boat on the lake, and then he meets up with his two other brothers that had passed, and then he ends up asking about the youngest one that got electrocuted or something.
Yeah.
And then gets to see him, and it's like they're all meeting up in heaven and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's a pretty nice little interpretation of all that.
Oh yeah.
I quite dug it. Now, this next person, I'm a little I'm not downplaying her talent. I think this is more even still a compliment on her talent, but I'm kind of disappointed with how WWE is doing things with her right now. But Roxanne Perez.
See, I don't really know much about her, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she trained by Rudy Gonzalez?
I might have been. I know she was involved in Booker T's promotion.
Yeah, I don't know if she was trained there, but I believe I saw him make a few posts about her. Maybe he brought her in for a show or something. But I don't know why. This is gonna sound horrible, but dude, I just can't get into women's wrestling.
No, I mean, that's the thing about wrestling is it's subjective. People like one thing, other people might not like that same thing. It's everybody has their tastes in it.
It's like if I watch a wrestling match, like I want to believe that it's a real fight going on, and I feel like a lot of times, like if you watch, and I'm the same way about death matches. Me personally, I do not like death matches. I do not think they should be on a wrestling show. I feel like if you have them, put them on their separate show, But like you said, to each their own, But it's like I just can't. I feel like a lot of this stuff, like you can tell, like with women's wrestling and some male wrestling too, you can tell that it's too choreographed.
Yeah, I can see that with a lot of wrestling in general. I will say there are a lot of great female talent out there that they do lay it in pretty good, and they're able to make it believable.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can see the when it happens too much, people not making it believable, that it can kind of take you away from being a fan of I what, I hadn't thought about it before, but I can see it. But it like we've said, that can be said for just about any genre of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
All right. Next up, a guy I'd actually, I was excited about actually getting to meet him. talking about Revolver again, but it was at Revolver. But he's now All Elite. The bounty hunter, Brian Keith.
See, I don't really know much about him, but I know a lot of the guys I wrestle with down here in Texas. Like, they're really good friends with him. They say that he's a really good guy. So,
oh yeah, the interaction I had with him, nothing but pleasant things to say about him.
Yeah,
and it's funny because he has that intense character that can be kind of intimidating.
Yeah,
but then you get to talking to him, and you're like, dude, he's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, last but not least here, this is another female talent, but, but she is one that I personally feel can definitely put on a believable fight. And hell, she was just recently in the Royal Rumble. TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace, which I guess I didn't realize that she was from Texas for some reason.
Yeah. Dude, she's a monster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of hers. Would be ecstatic if I got her on the podcast. But yeah, dude, man, she can... I'm trying to think of the right term to put here, but the term equal opportunity ass kicker comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about her.
Dude, so here's a funny story. So me and her are actually sponsored by the same supplement company.
No kidding.
Yeah. I just want to go on record saying that I was sponsored there first.
Okay. You were first.
I'm the bigger star in this situation.
Okay.
But then again, nobody's used my promo code probably as much as they have hers.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably... oh, boy, I can only imagine. I mean, I got a promo code for a place, but good Lord, I don't think anybody's using my damn one yet. But
I think, honestly, I was the only one that's ever used my promo code.
You know what? I think it might be the same for mine.
Yeah. So there's that.
I mean, I put it in the description of every freaking episode, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Now we kind of talked a little bit about, we're on the heels of WrestleMania. We're going into my random questions now. Some might be wrestling related, some might not be. A few of these have nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far.
Sweet.
That's why they're random. But as I was saying, we're on the heels of WrestleMania. Everybody has their favorite matches, favorite moments. What would you say is a favorite WrestleMania match or moment for you that you can remember?
Man, the one that comes to mind would have to be Undertaker Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania.
That's a classic. Either one of them, really.
Yeah, because I've always been a big fan of Shawn Michaels. Like, no matter, now I'm a bigger fan of his '90s runs.
Yeah,
but I still liked when he came back and in the early 2000s and all that. Like, I was a fan of it then. But any WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels.
I can understand that. I know I'm kind of the same way with Stone Cold Steve Austin when it comes to WrestleMania stuff.
Yeah.
Especially even with as somewhat worried as I was with this whole thing that he did with Kevin Owens, with the neck injury stuff, I was like, oh, like I'm excited, but I'm like nervous. But then they ended up doing great. And then, going with stuff like his submission match with Bret Hart, where they kind of had the double turn, and then him winning the title from Shawn Michaels. There's like so much to choose from. The series of matches with The Rock, like I could go on. Probably the only one that probably a low point of that and not really his fault, was, when he was a special guest referee for the Goldberg Lesnar match at 20.
Yeah.
That wasn't really his fault. Hell, him giving the stunner to both of them was probably the highlight of that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
But, one not involving him is the ending to 20, Guerrero and, we can't really talk about him. But
Yeah.
the two of them together, for what it was at that moment, the story that they had up to that point, that was pretty special. It's just sad that the way things ended with the one of them.
That's what I hate though, because Benoit was such a good wrestler. Like he was such a good wrestler, and it's like now like you can't even talk about it because there's speculations that he killed his whole family. Which, funny story about this, my barber down here in Texas, his sister works for Atlanta police. And she said that case was closed in 24 hours.
I remember thinking that was a little fishy.
Yeah, there's something not right there. Like if you're gonna close a double murder and a homicide in 24 hours, that's a little. I'm not saying Benoit is innocent at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that somebody needs to reopen that case and take a much deeper look into it.
Yeah, I mean, even if it still points to Benoit having done it,
but it's like murder trials last way longer than 24 hours. They can't even go to trial in 24 hours.
No,
they don't even have all the evidence lined up.
Yeah.
And there was no text. There was not one text from Benoit saying that he was going to do it. All like if I was the investigator and I was looking into it, he texts 3 or 4 different guys and was like, "Hey, I love you." Like I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, he's planning on killing his family." I'm gonna be like, "There's something wrong there."
Yeah, there's all sorts of theories out there, and I guess right at the start, I was definitely one of those, and I'm like, this is like. There's still that inkling I have that, remembering back then, like something seems fishy. Yeah. But then, I guess I was one of those people that just as time went on, I'm like, I don't know anymore. Yeah. People talk about wondering if he'll ever go in the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, I think it was Jim Ross or somebody that ended up saying this, that unless it somehow gets proven that he didn't do it, I don't think he's ever going in, because, the whole thing would overshadow everybody that they're trying to highlight. Everybody would just be thinking about that situation those last couple of days.
Well, here's the thing. Isn't Snuka in the Hall of Fame?
That is the thing that I keep coming up with there. Yeah.
Because he was found guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was found guilty after he got put in. Which was
But everybody
But he still got found guilty.
Yeah. It's like, and they didn't pull it from him.
Yeah. That's what, I never really thought about that. I mean, I knew about him getting found guilty. Yeah. But I guess I didn't really think about the fact that, hey, he's still technically in there. Yeah. Oh, well, what can you do?
And if you look back, man, in the Hall of Fame, there's a lot of suspicious people in there too.
True.
So I'm not going to be the one to start a petition, but somebody out there should start a petition to get Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame for his wrestling alone.
Yeah. You know, I am definitely under the thought of if there's a way that they can work it, if you can be of the type that, you can separate the in-ring career from the events of those last couple of days, then yeah, there's no question about it that he deserves it. It's
at the
just
end of the day, that's what wrestling is. Like
true.
My wrestling character is a heel. So I got to go out there and make people think I'm this big, strong, tough guy. It's like badass when it's like I'm actually a super nice guy.
Yeah, and that's another point that I brought up a lot on this podcast. That it's kind of interesting how some of the guys that play these just sadistic sons of bitches, behind the camera, once the camera's off, nicest people ever.
Yeah.
I know I can definitely say the same thing about Swerve. Because, good Lord, that guy has played one sadistic son of a bitch. But the time I got to meet him, one of the nicest dudes ever.
Yeah.
So who knows? It's a whole tricky situation that, I can understand both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
I can understand being able to try to separate the in-ring from personal in those last couple of days. And then I can see the people thinking that all it's going to do is just those last couple of days are just going to completely overshadow not just him going in, but anybody in that year's class. That's all they're going to be talking about. So, I can understand both. And you know what? Speaking of that, who is somebody that you hope goes into that Hall of Fame this year?
I would say Bray Wyatt.
I would definitely say is definitely on my list. My only worry is whether there's going to be too much talk of that. Oh, would he be going in this year if he didn't die?
Well, no, because it'd still be an active. It'd be on the active roster.
He'd still be on the active roster, yeah. Because hell, wasn't he just?
He was still under contract.
Yeah, he was still under contract, and wasn't he just shy of getting cleared?
Yeah,
and then everything happened, and now, much respect to WWE for this, but didn't they actually sign Wyatt to a Legends deal, posthumously, and all the proceeds are going to his kids?
Yeah.
Which, hey, I was kind of hoping they'd set something up like that for them, but hey, much respect.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Bo Dallas is still signed.
I think
they extended his contract or something.
You know what? That is a good question. I am not 100% on that. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on it though. But
yeah.
Wyatt he's like we've talked about. His characters, like pretty much each iteration, besides maybe Husky Harris.
Yeah.
But each of those other iterations, like to this day, people still are talking about how each one of them just had this unique way of being able to capture you in and just draw you in.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely hoping there. All right. Now, I actually just got reminded of my thoughts behind this question on my drive home from work today. There's this big lottery billboard with, good Lord, I forget what the jackpots were up to now. But it definitely was to the point where the amount of money that you'd have equals to what I would call fuck it money. Where like you are for a while thinking, dreaming of something you'd always wanted, but never thinking you'd be able to afford it. You get a jackpot like that, all of a sudden you're able to afford it. What is something you would get, one of the first things you'd get if you had fuck it money?
If I had an island, I'd buy my own island.
Yeah, that would be something. Yep.
Yeah.
Just somewhere to build a spot out there to where you can go, and you literally have to take a boat out there just to get to it.
Well, see, what I'd do is I'd buy the island, then I'd have them build a runway, and I'd buy my own plane.
That too.
Fly out
Yes.
there whenever I wanted to.
Oh yeah, that would be something. Yeah. You know what? That is actually an answer that hasn't ever been brought up before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been people that, like much like Eric Bischoff has one of these. I know Stone Cold does, like a plot of land and just out in basically the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just out there by yourself, which that's been brought up a few times, but hell, either one of them really. You're an island or like a ranch. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You need to travel like by dirt roads for a while, by plane, by boat, and then you got your own little spot.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal. All right. Now, you being one of the best big men out there right now, you can't pick yourself for this question. Best big man in wrestling. We'll do two-parter here. Current and all time.
Current Brick Savage. All time. Big
all
Boss
time.
Man.
The big he holds one of my like early favorites. Hell. One of my in my collection here. Only things that I keep out of the box because I try to keep, stuff in box in case I get to meet the person. But here's like my rest in peace, tribute area. Big Boss Man figure right there.
You got to.
And then, Bam Bam Bigelow, another one of the great big men of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, Andre the Giant, classic.
Yeah. Then you've also got Big John Studd, Yokozuna.
Oh, yeah.
Hell,
speaking of, two of the people you just mentioned, the first WWE show I ever went to, one of the matches was literally Big Boss Man versus Yokozuna.
Really?
Yep. And hell, I even got one of my figures I got signed right here. Head Shrinker Fatu. Rikishi.
Oh, yeah.
He was also in that show. I got to tell him about it. Him in the Head Shrinkers versus Coco Beware and Owen Hart.
Oh, man.
Yep. It was some. Me being the little third grader I was at the time, found this part hilarious when one of the Head Shrinkers I saw pick their nose and then eat it.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's
like
gross.
right there, the one that was in the corner, just all of a sudden, I'm like, like I was like, ew, and laughing at the same time. But yeah, all of those, especially all time, and Brick Savage definitely on an independent level, well, really any level, he should probably be signed somewhere by now.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as people that are already signed, definitely. Well, I had a shortened episode with him the time I got to meet him, but Bronson Reed.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh yeah, one of my current favorites. And congratulations to him actually, because he just recently, him and his wife had their first kid, so congratulations to them. I was trying to think of the other big men out there. Lance Archer.
Yeah.
Another great one. Powerhouse. Absolute powerhouse. And I was a little surprised that this guy wasn't bigger, like tall wise, but Jeff Cobb. He's one meaty son bitch, but not so tall.
Not so tall. Yeah.
But still, I would consider him up there because, hell, the match that happened the night I got to meet him was actually him versus, now Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was like hoss fight and all hoss fights. Keith Lee, another one.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets back and healthy because, dude, that guy can pull off some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that is actually about all I have. But before we go, where can people find you social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you, they can go ahead and get them there.
I believe my Instagram and my Twitter are the same, Big John G _. And then my Facebook is just Big John G. Or if I know you, I'll add you to the John Gilbert one. But I don't think everybody gets to see those car ride karaoke videos,
I'll consider myself lucky. You did better than I could.
Man, actually in high school I took course and I got the best male vocal award when I was in high school.
Oh God, I probably would have failed.
I probably should have just moved down to Nashville and tried my luck, but
hey, I mean they got some big guys in country music. I mean, we talked about Luke Combs. He ain't a small dude.
Yeah, me, him, and Jelly Roll could all do something.
Oh, that would be a trio.
Oh yeah.
Although my wife gives me shit about kind of giving Jelly Roll shit. Although I don't really hate his music. I kind of just give him shit because I say he looks like a fat Post Malone.
I see it.
But I'm like, every time she just shakes her head at me like, you idiot. And I'm like, am I wrong? I'm not saying he's a bad singer. I'm just saying you take Post Malone and you like Photoshop him to look fat. You got Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, before I go into too big of a tangent, we'll get the social media information in the description. Thank you again for joining me tonight, coming back for another round. And just like I said the last time, you're welcome back again anytime. And best of luck down there in the great state of Texas.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, yeehaw. Get that thumb to press the button.